Hey guys, welcome back to Adventure Camping. Tactical Nut here, and today we're here to talk about some rain gear, the poncho and rain suit from LooGu, so stay tuned. Okay guys, first thing I want to do is thank today's sponsor, LooGu, for sponsoring this video. They sent this to me to test and review it, and I am more than happy to bring this to you because, well, as you'll find out, I'll tell you everything about what I think these are good for, who they're good for, and all the uses for both items. So right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it rained today again. This is my third time trying to do this video. First time it rained all day at work, and then when I got home, it quit raining. But I filmed the video, I posted it, the resolution came out as garbage. No idea why, haven't been able to figure it out. I do believe, after a lot of research and a lot of digging into cameras and looking at past videos, all this kind of stuff, I truly believe it's because I got the SD cards off of Tumu. Yes, unfortunately I went cheap, thinking that these high capacity ones would be great. They're inexpensive, I'll give them a shot. I've had multiple videos with them and they did fine. I guess they just aren't going to last very long because the performance was just outdoing what they're capable of. So here we are again, new SD cards, and again it rained all day while I was at work, and then I get off work and here it is, stopped raining. But let me still tell you, we'll start with the rain suit. Comes in a little stuff sack with a drawstring bag, right? They will come rolled up together. Oh, I also filmed this again yesterday and the video resolution still came out like crud, so that's just why I went and bought new cards. Hopefully this one will be what we want it to be. All right, so let's run around the jacket real quick first. First off, you've got a hood right here. Drawstring to pull it close to your face. A very high neck so it can go around your chin. That way sealing off as much as possible around your face depending on how much the wind and the rain is blowing around you. All that is awesome. I mean, I really like that high part because one of the worst things about a lot of rain coats and rain suits is that they just have a regular collar, so if it's blowing pretty good and you're out for any extended period of time, there's still a high likelihood water is going to be getting down in around your neck and stuff. So you do have two flaps that cover your zipper, as you can see here, right? And with the zippers, they're not YKK, but they work incredibly well. Just the only thing I have to point out, and if it's any critique I have to have, it's a left side zip, or as we say here in the United States, woman zip. Some people call these a European zip, but you do have a good zipper pull, covered in plastic, a little bit extra here, so gloved hands, no issue. You are seam sealed all the way around, and they did an excellent job with it, even behind the zippers. So you have two flaps with snaps that will keep it closed over the zipper. So really guys, I mean, look at that seam taping. I mean, they did an incredible job. Now, putting these on, the camo pattern, I really do like it, guys. I really do, just because of where I live right now. As you can see, ain't a lot of leaves on the trees right now. It is February. That's a whole nother complaint. Yesterday it was almost 80 degrees. Today at least it's only like 65, but what do you do in February? I keep getting cold weather gear and I can't keep testing it, or at least not extensively, because it doesn't stay cold long enough. All right, elastic cuffs, right? That's always awesome to keep around from, or minimizing the amount of water intrusion you're gonna get when it's raining. You do have two pockets. They are not like Velcro or snapped on the cover, but they are quite large, as you can see, a little bit wider than my hand and deeper than my hands. And so this is a very lightweight suit, very lightweight, which is awesome. But when it comes to like the pockets, you're just going to want to put lightweight items in them, just because it's just going to weigh you the jacket down a whole bunch. Won't kill you if you put slightly heavier items in it, but it's just best suited for stuff that is lighter. Show you what the hood looks like on. So if we zip this all the way up without the string in the middle, I mean, you can really cinch this up if you had to and see how much neck protection you're getting, as well as around the face. I wouldn't go that tight, but there you go. And so obviously, or along with this, one of the benefits you're going to get with it is extra insulation value, right? So if it's cold outside and it's raining, if you're dressed appropriately for the weather, and you should always be dressed appropriately for the weather. I don't care how little or how long you're going out. Dress appropriately for the weather, because you don't know if you're going to get stuck somewhere. But if you're dressed appropriately, you can still throw this on even if it's not raining or snowing or anything, and still get an added layer of insulation, because anything that is windproof and waterproof is also going to be holding in heat, which is really good for you. Now, around the waist, bring it down a little bit. You do have drawstrings on either side, so you can really cinch it around you. Now, I'm 5'9", almost 160 pounds. This is a large, so it is a little big on me, but I don't mind that, just because if I'm going to be wearing bulkier clothing in the winter, then that just gives me more room, and it won't be a really tight fitting jacket or pants. But even in the summer, you know, I'm going to be wearing a t-shirt or something like that, shorts, whatever, while I'm outdoors around town. This way I won't have to worry like about it being stuck to my body either. Now, just like any other raincoat, you're going to get some condensation on the inside, some sweat, just because they do tend to hold in heat, which also traps in moisture, but at the same time it's better than being rained on, right? And if you're wearing appropriate clothing for the weather, it's not going to be a huge issue for you. Now, next up, the pants. You do have an elastic waist, as I will show you here. Elastic cuffs around your ankles. And so these are just going to slip on over whatever you're wearing, and easy to come on, easy to come off. It's been raining again today, so everything is muddy. But just imagine, these are here, my jacket's over it. I love the length of this jacket because it comes way down, so you don't have to worry about it being stopping at your waist, and any possibility of water intrusion happening that way. These are just a little bit long on me, not too much, but it's just because of my size. So I'm just unfortunate in some ways. When it comes to buying pants, it's a nightmare. I'm a 30-30, but my shirt size and jacket sizes are always a large. So most places do not mix and match sizes like that, so I would typically wear a small in pants and a large in jackets, just because I have very square shoulders, not necessarily broad but square like that. And so if I wear smaller sizes, it just makes me look really skinny. Just how it is. Unfortunate for me, right? There are no pockets on the side or the back. I'm not concerned about that at all, just because when you need to get something in or out of your pocket, literally, since you have this elastic waist, you can just reach in underneath and get it, and there's no issue to it whatsoever. Once again, still really lightweight. The best way I can relate, I'm going to put the descriptions of the materials, waterproof ratings, weights, all that kind of stuff in the description below. But I do know a lot of people are very familiar with a company called Frog Talks. I would put this at this weight, right? Very, very lightweight. Really cool camo pattern though. And the benefits to this is, if a couple different people who would use this over a poncho. Hikers and backpackers, right? Hikers typically are going to, and backpackers are going to carry packs that are pretty water resistant. And also they're usually going to line their pack, or at least individual items in bags that are waterproof, right? So you're going to line it with a compactor bag, a trash bag, something like that. Or you're going to separate your stuff into individual dry bags and stuff like that. So most long distance hikers, backpackers, stuff like that aren't going to need a poncho. They just want the lighter weights because they're going a long distance and they're not worried about their pack getting wet. They also may even carry a pack cover, right? So for this, even hunting, this would be great for hunting because you're dressed appropriately for the weather, again. But you're just sitting there, you have full range of motion to look for your prey, and you don't have to worry about holding it outside of a poncho and or under it, and that getting in the way when you have an opportunity to get some food, right? So also around town, like this is a great one for just being around town. If you're, I do believe they have solid colors, I'll have to check again, but where I live, if I were to wear this out, nobody would care. Like nobody would look twice. If you're worried about that, look for a solid color. But for me, I wouldn't care anyway, but they do, because that's just me. But of course, where I live, that's just not an issue. Nobody looks at you funny or anything like that. It's just part of who everybody is around here, or a lot of people. So, rain suit, awesome, incredibly lightweight, multi-piece, but very high quality, seam sealing, right? Good for your hiker, backpacker, everyday carry, you know, kind of thing. Keep this in your car, keep it in the pack, always have it with you, so when the rain surprises you, you are ready, right? I've seen too many times of people, and it's so frustrating for me. In my heart, it is frustrating for me to see people that are out and about and weather hits of any kind and they're running to their cars. They're just scrambling because nobody has an umbrella, nobody has a raincoat, the clothes they're wearing doesn't match the weather, and now they're either freezing cold or whatever. Dress appropriately, carry rain gear. It helps tremendously, I promise you. Now, the next one, the poncho, right? Comes in a stuff sack as well, but this one is zippered, has a little carry handle, and it's pretty heavy duty. I really like this because if I got a pack, I can stuff this in the front in a lighter pocket just to keep the access to this really quick, but then put other things in here that I want to keep dry. So you got a multi-use bag, which is extremely helpful. Love multi-use items. Now, with the poncho itself, just like any other poncho, they're pretty much all built almost the same. You're going to have a hood. You have a zippered portion right here to cinch it up around your neck, and a drawstring as well to fit it around your head. You're also going to have snaps that go down the side that will help you cinch it up but leave you a space for your arm and hands to come out. And on each corner you have a grommet that is reinforced, very well stitched, and this is a pretty heavy duty tarp, guys. Like I said, I'll put the weights and everything down below. Camo pattern is just like the other, so it matches the environment where I live in the spring, summer, and fall extremely well. But instead of just this, let's just go ahead and start in with why I like ponchos so much. Oops. Sorry. Head around here. Oh, good. That really just do this. Thought it felt funny. All right, so you got your hood, got the zipper, right? I can cinch this up, and I've got good head coverage, right? I got my arms out, I'm ready to go. There's only downside, the biggest downside with a poncho, is that it's now exposed from just below my knee to my feet. And so over time, if you're out in the rain, your pants are going to get wet, then your socks, then your feet. That's the downside to any and all ponchos, unless you're vertically challenged and it comes down a whole lot further. So you're either going to need to compensate by wearing some gaiters, or you could always pair it with rain pants, right? Added extra insulation. This is going to be outstanding for insulation because of how heavy duty it is. But I'm telling you guys, this is one very, very multi-use item, right? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is one of the reasons why I love ponchos so much, and I'm going to go ahead and show you. Yeah. All right. Got a little bit of the material stuck in there. Oh. There we go. All right. So now, one of the great uses of a poncho go ahead and get these lined up. If I were to only snap one end, I could do this. It's what we call an improvised blanket, right? I could get inside of here, lay kind of curled up. I have a place for my head to come out, so because I can just snap one if I wanted to, or just not snap either one, but just fold this over me. Now you have a waterproof layer over you that can help keep you out of the weather. But also, if you paired this with a wool blanket, a fleece blanket, once again, dressed appropriately for the weather, you now have a waterproof blanket, sleeping bag, if you will. You could put a bunch of insulation underneath of you, your sleeping pad in here, like pine boughs, spruce boughs, stuff like that, to give yourself a soft place to sleep. And then wrap yourself up in this. And of course, like I said, if you're pairing it with other stuff, you don't have to worry about the weather so much outside. Now, I mean, if it's raining, we have other options, but let's just move into a couple more ways of using this that I think you will find incredibly helpful. Let me reposition the camera. Give me just a minute, okay? And then I'll show you a few more uses. All right, so if I set it up like this, I literally just kind of haphazardly tied it around these trees just to kind of give you an idea and the impression. Now you have an improvised lean-to. All you need is some paracord or some type of cordage. I really am enjoying these pulley system kind of cordage and shelter tie downs and stuff. But you could lay literally right under there, push back a little further if you wanted to, but now you're going to be out of the weather. You can raise or drop the slope depending on how you wanted it. I literally just found a couple of sticks and shoved them in the ground. I didn't carve tent stakes, which you could do and literally just take yourself a couple of seconds. But on this side, now imagine there's foliage, right? You could blend right into a lot of it if you needed that. Like I said, you could lower the pitch of this, and that way you could get yourself a little more protection, and you'll be laying long ways. You can build a fire on the other side of this and get that radiant heat and trap some of that in there. Your bedding could be, once again, pine boughs, spruce boughs, sleeping mat, right? You got options, and you got a way of getting out of the weather. Now, let me switch how I'm going to set this up, and I'll get right back. All right, so here you have the same concept. You just now have it long ways instead of sideways, right? So this way you could lay this way instead of that way. So depending on how you feel like you get more coverage, how tall you are, this could be lowered and raised depending on the pitch that you want or that you feel like you need, depending on the weather and how much warmth you want. Again, you can build a fire in front of this to collect that radiant heat. Throw in a mylar blanket. Once again, the bedding, all that kind of stuff, dressing appropriately, you have more options, or another option as for doing that. So you got two types of shelters so far, one blanket, so stay tuned, we're going to show you another. All right, so in this configuration you could now have a hunting blind. You could be sitting on the other side of that. You can raise and lower it depending on what your need, height is. Do you have a chair, a log to sit on, something like that? But now you got something that's going to break up your image or disguise you from any kind of animals that are walking around. You could use it to camouflage a camp, right? So depending on how heavy the vegetation is, this could be used, especially if you don't have a earth colored tent or shelter system, whatever. You could hang this up to put up a wall, so it will kind of break up your image and everything else, anything that's behind it. So at a distance, people won't know that it's you, or animals won't know that it's you. And so stay tuned, we got one more to go. All right, so if you want to set it up in this configuration, now you have a very low-lying improvised tent that gives you complete shelter. Once again, you can put some bedding up under there, sleeping mat. All you need is literally one piece of rope, paracord, what have you, right? You just tie off the hood, and then that way when you pull it up, I do recommend actually taking the time to carve tent stakes, so that way you get a more secure fit. I'm literally just sticking sticks in the ground. If you had to do that in emergency, you could carve them. Literally doesn't take very long at all. I could carve 4 in about a minute, maybe 2. So yeah, it just kind of depends on your need, but this just gives you more coverage. You will have to climb in underneath of it, and so just keep that in mind. So you're going to get a little bit dirty getting in and out, but hey, this is a survival shelter, impromptu tent. Get out of the crap as fast as you can, right? And so this isn't meant for extreme comfort, it's just meant for protection and getting through the night, or whatever the storm system is that you're dealing with. All right, back to you in a second. All right, so last thing to mention, should have been probably one of the first, about why ponchos rock. But if you're military, law enforcement, someplace where you have to wear some type of tactical gear, or just a pack of some sort like I'm doing right now, this is a great thing because it does cover that up quite easily. Once again, if you match it or pair it with the pants, now you got perfection, because literally your feet and your lower legs are all going to stay dry, because now you're going to prevent that rain from getting to your pants and then getting inside your shoes. So kind of to sum this all up, guys, for your poncho, tactical, military, survivalist, preparedness, camper, hiker, backpacker, can all use these because they're so multi-use. So if you like to go out with minimal gear, this is perfect, because now you have a shelter system of varying sorts. Hunting, you have a hunting blind, or you can wear this depending on the weather, right? This has so many uses, and this is really heavy duty, so it's going to be very durable. You're not going to have to worry about catching it on briars and branches and stuff when you're walking through the woods. You could still wear this every day out and about town if you wanted to. Once again, if you care about wearing a canter pattern, that's on you. But yeah, like, there's so many uses for it that these, I just love them. This is going to stay with me for a very long time in everything that I do. Like my car, anytime I go anywhere, I always think I have 2 ponchos in there now. I'll switch one out. But also your rain suit, another great option, just depending on your preferences. Are you a hiker, backpacker, just wanted something to wear around town? This is a great way to go, because it's very lightweight, still going to be durable, very well seam sealed, and fuller coverage, I guess you could say, just because you've got the cuffs, the full sleeves, that kind of thing, which where these you don't. But that's kind of a preference, personal preference. But kind of people that fit into these categories is a lot of your hiker backpackers are going to wear these, and a lot of your campers, hunters, any kind of tactical situation or practitioner tend to go with these. So I wanted to bring them both to your attention, because I really like both of them. And I'm gonna keep them both with me because even if I carry the rain suit and this, the rain suit is so lightweight, I won't even notice the difference in weight when I have this. I mean, it's just that. Now, if you wanna go ultralight, this is your way to go. 100%. This is so lightweight, you won't even notice in your pack. But I like having multi-use items. I test and review all different types of stuff. So usually stuff like this will stay in my car in case of inclement weather because I'm testing out tarps, tents, hammocks, all that kind of stuff. So I can get out of the weather pretty easily when I'm camping. But having these in your pack, in case you're not out camping and something else happens, you have protection from the weather, which is always ideal. All right, guys, hopefully this will help you in finding a great rain, wet weather system for yourself. Check out LooGu. I'm going to leave their link in the description below. They also carry other stuff, so you definitely want to check them out. It definitely helps the channel. If you like this kind of content, guys, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think about it. Really helps the algorithm. Really helps me with the channel and to keep growing it and look for new sponsors. So, guys, I'm telling you, you really can't go wrong. These are so useful and so good that I think you're really going to like them. So check them out. All right, guys, in the meantime, be prepared, have fun. So I'm starting to head out of the woods, and of course it starts to rain. Good thing I was prepared, although it's really light right now. Not sure if you can hear it over the traffic that's out that way. It sounds like it's picking up. So we'll see. Good thing I'm prepared. You should be too.